How's it going? It's just out here in the forest, collecting my thoughts concerning a topic that I like to share with you. Uh, as I was collecting my thoughts, and I felt like I was just about ready, I clicked on my phone here, and it was 8:08 in the morning. So I took that as a sign that I was ready. My thoughts had been collected. So let's see if I can keep this video on point here. The topic is communism. It's a touchy topic, especially talking to you from out here at the ends of the earth, where communism was a problem up until relatively recently. My father-in-law, when he was much younger, not to mention alive, sponsored through the university some left-wing chick from Florida. This was back in the 70s, all right? So she was, Woodstock left wing, and hippie, you know the hippie commune, right? And the communist. So she was sponsored because she wanted to roll up her sleeves and really work with the university out here at the ends of the earth, and she felt that was going to help her prove her belief in this social structure called communism. Like, not long after she's been here, like a year out of the 4-year stint she was expected, she came down with some terminal cancer, right? Everybody was urging that she has to go back to the United States because they got the equipment, out here at the ends of the earth at the time in the 70s. There were more than capable doctors, but they just couldn't get their hands on the equipment and the right machinery. And so my father-in-law urged her incredibly, and according to the story that wife shares with me, that even this girl's parents came from Florida to try and bring her home, but she felt that it was her calling to stick with it here, out here at the ends of the earth, communism-ridden late 70s, somewhere in the 70s, and she was going to prove that communism is going to save your life. And so cut to the last chapter of that whole fucking boring story. She died, right? She died. And wife was asking, like, what exactly was it that the left wing hippie flower child movement, what exactly were they resisting? What was the revolution for, you know, just because when you look at the solidarity movement that happened out here at the ends of the earth, and what concluded with the fall of communism, the Solidarity Party, and the revolution that it was, that this is a whole different feeling than fucking Woodstock, right? These people at Woodstock were fighting for their right to take acid, right? Well, these people out here at the ends of the earth were fighting we're fighting for a loaf of bread. How can so many people get fooled by communism? Time and again. It's because on paper it looks well, that's how so many people get fooled by it. Because on paper it looks fucking fantastic. Goddamn utopia, I tell you what. Yeah. Okay. Might get a little esoteric from here on in, but see, the only thing that keeps screwing up this theory called communism is the only thing that keeps fucking it up is the human. See, now the human is incapable of seeing itself. The human. You've been to mynlines.com. We talk about the hue of man versus man. I don't know. See if I can find a link to that. So the human is incapable of seeing itself. This is an illusion. This is an illusory realm, right? Almost all of it is space, even down to the atom. It's all about refraction and frequency and the last thing it is about is anything truly tangible. So the human is unable to see itself, I suspect, by design. But it can't see itself surrounded by illusion and hallucination and assumption and autopilot, that to see itself is a virtual impossibility, because yourself is it's like, well, lots of times people like to picture themselves as a grain of sand on an ocean, whereas I feel it's in through the outdoor there. That's it's the other way around. See, you're the grain of sand that is on an ocean that is on a grain of sand. So it's not surprising that you could be easily overlooked in this realm of hallucination. But it's that grain of sand that's on the infinite grain of sand that keeps getting stuck in the gears of this fantastic machine that a human calls communism. And the human is so afraid of communism, but intrigued by communism, and because the human is unable to see itself when when it looks at this fantastic machine come from the theory phase, when it sees it leap off the paperwork and become a part of this loosely referred to tangible reality. I could put my hand through anything I want if I know the right frequency. So, hey. When it comes off the paper and it turns into your neighbor, the human is incapable of seeing how it's fucked because it can't see itself, right? For all intents and purposes, it should run fantastically, shouldn't it? But when it looks, it sees nothing wrong, but it's not running fantastically. Inevitably, every time it's not running fantastically. Because when the human looks at it, it can't see itself. And itself is that grain of sand that's on a grain of sand that keeps getting stuck in the gears of this fantastic machine. But the human can't see this because it can't see that grain of sand that's on a grain of sand. It's profoundly perplexing. So my ultimate suggestion for the conclusion of this conversation is that we shelve the whole notion of this fantastic machine we've labeled communism. We put it on a shelf and come back to it some time, I guess. But I think if we're ever going to be able to use it properly, we really need to